In this video, what I want to do is show you exactly where all my clients came from for my 45K per month SMMA. And in addition to that, I'm going to show you my actual financial statements for 2023, broken down month by month so you can see my actual revenue, actual profit, and fully behind the scenes. I just got back from this walk through a beautiful snowy forest here in Vancouver. And what I realized is that there's so much content on YouTube right now about how to start an agency, how to start an SMMA, and frankly, the advice being given about how to attract good clients is not very good. Not only does it not work a lot of the time, that even when it does work, the clients that you get end up leaving after a month or two. So one thing I can safely say about my agency is that we have incredible client retention. So let's jump onto my computer, get into the financial statements, and get into the breakdown.
All right, guys. So what I want to do is open up my QuickBooks Online account. This is where my accountant compiles all of our numbers. And the main purpose of these numbers is actually for filing taxes, but it's also very useful for me to look back on and see how we're doing. So I'm going to go into reports. And what I like doing is looking at profit and loss by month. And I'm going to choose last year. I'm recording this January 18th, 2024. So we're going to do last year. And here we go. So this will break down our income, profit, and all expenses month by month. So as you'll see, in 2023, my agency did 524,000 total revenue, and net profit after taxes was 198,000. But if you factor in taxes, or you look at the pre-tax net income, which is when most people talk about profit, they're talking about profit before taxes. So we do 198,000 plus 23, so 221,000 of net profit. And if you want to find my profit margins, we can divide that into 524,000. So profit margins would have been about 42%. So pretty good. That's pretty good margins for a business. But what I want to do in this video is break down where my clients came from. So what I've done as well is created my own spreadsheet here to help me figure out where my clients are coming from and how to keep growing. So in this spreadsheet, what you're going to see here on the left is all of our clients. I've broken it down by category, so dental, industrial, etc. We have the currency. Myself, I'm based in Canada, so some of my clients are Canadian, some of my clients are in the US. And the US clients, I charge USD, and Canadian clients, we charge CAD. Then we have the management fee, ad spend collected for the client. So some of our clients prefer to give us the ad spend, and then we invest the ad spend into the ad platforms. And some of our clients prefer to have their own credit card hooked up directly to the ad platform. Personally, I don't really care which way they want to do it, but I like to record what's happening here. The reason for that is technically for an accounting perspective, all of the ad spend we collect from clients still counts as revenue, but personally, I don't really consider that true revenue. So that's why I'm going to factor it out in the spreadsheet here and break that down. What I do is look at the management fee in Canadian and then look at the ad spend in Canadian. So if the base currency is CAD, this is just going to be the same number. If the base currency is USD, then it's going to convert to CAD at the exchange rate, which at the time that I did this was 1.36. So then we have total CAD revenue. So this is going to be the management fee plus the ad spend. And then we have the revenue not including ad spend. Now, this is my own metric. This doesn't exist on the actual financial statements because the tax authorities don't care about this. All they care about is revenue and profit. But for me personally, I like to know what's my true revenue without factoring in ad spend collected from clients. And that's what this is here, which is simply the revenue, the total revenue, subtract the ad spend. And here we have the client source. And I think this can be really interesting for a lot of people watching this. This is where the client came from. And then finally, I have retention. And something you'll notice for us is we have really strong retention. Most of our clients have been with us for over a year. And this means they're, at this point, honestly, really low maintenance. We've dialed in their system so well. They're very happy. And they literally stay working with us for years on end. And in my opinion, this is one of the biggest issues in the agency space right now is people are learning how to get clients to sign on. They don't deliver very good results and the client leaves in a month or two. And that is a losing situation both for the client and for the agency and just for the industry in general. The way that agencies should run is prioritizing client retention, which is something that I'm going to keep focusing on as I build up North Digital to 7 figures and beyond. Without further ado, let's get into this. For dental clients, I have 5 different relationships I manage, and 4 of those are single location practices, and one of them here has 5 different dental locations in one. And you guys can see all the breakdown for each individual one here. And the total revenue collected just under 15K, not including ad spend, right about 11K for our dental branch of the business. And the source for almost all of these is YouTube. That's because my YouTube channel ranks really well for dental marketing. So almost all my dental clients come in from YouTube. However, the 5-location dental client did actually come in from a referral. So this was a local Vancouver-based client. I was introduced to the owner. We actually hit things off in person, and then I signed them on. The next one here is the dental growth partner client. So this is also a client in the dental space, and I'm actually paid a commission based on how well the ads do. So for this month of August, our management fee was about $4,000 USD. We've had months where this has been as high as $10,000 USD and months where it's been as low as $1,500 USD. But overall, this is an amazing client where we earn a lot of revenue from. And you guys can see the breakdown here. And once again, this client came in from YouTube. They've been with us for a year. Our other dental clients have been with us for a long time, 2 years, 4 years, 2 years, 1 year. We only have one new dental client, which signed on a couple months ago. Our next bucket of clients is industrial. Now, this one's really interesting. My first industrial client, which is actually my oldest client in the agency, we've been working with them for 5 years. And I actually found them on LinkedIn. So I was 5 years ago making posts on LinkedIn to talk about digital marketing at my agency. And a manager at this metal company saw the post, reached out to me, and decided to give us a shot. We got them great results. They've stuck with us for 5 years. And it was actually this initial client that referred the other 2 metal clients. You'll see here for the other 2 metal clients, the source is referrals. And that happened about 6 months ago. The metal clients like to pay us ad spend up front. Let me actually, to make this easier, freeze that so we can see. Yeah, so these guys like to pay me all their ad spend, which is fine by me because it bumps our revenue. But ultimately, the revenue less ad spend is about $6,500. And then I have a handful of other clients. We have a 3-location chiropractor physiotherapist, a single location physio. We actually have 5 white label clients. So we work with another agency that trusts us how to run the ads. So they actually white label us to run their clients' ads. And there's 5 clients under that one relationship. And then we work with one lawyer who's also my friend. So I give him a really good rate of only $500 a month. And what's interesting is that all my other clients came in from referrals and relationships. If you look at this, you can see right away that the 2 biggest sources, basically the only sources of clients for us, is YouTube and referrals. And in the past, I have ran paid ads and done cold outreach for my agency, and it has worked to get clients. But what I learned is that clients that I acquire through that method would always churn after a month or 2. And I'll get really frustrated because with those clients, I actually worked really hard to get them, either through creating ads and spending a lot of my own money on ad spend to get the client, or through just really arduous cold outreach. And then after all that, they still would leave after a month or 2, even though they get the exact same service that these YouTube clients get, and they stay for 2 years. So what I've learned is that the client source, I'm going to highlight this, is one of the most important things. And this is something that people don't talk about enough. Not all clients are equal. Clients that come in from organic sources like YouTube or from referrals and relationships are coming into the relationship of working with the agency owner already trusting you, and they're in it for the long term. So they're not going to leave after the first month when the results aren't quite as amazing as they hoped. They know it takes time, and they're going to stick it out for the long term, and they want to build a relationship with you. That's one of the most important things I've learned in sustainably building my agency. So we scale down to the bottom. Based on this spreadsheet, the total revenue for August was $46,000, and not including ad spend was $31,000. So you can do the math, 46 minus 31. So this is about $15,000 of that revenue was ad spend collected from the clients. Now, if we cross-reference that with the QuickBooks report, it's not going to be exactly the same. The reason for that is that there's always cutoff errors around month end. Like, for example, I might bill a client on the 30th, but the funds might not hit my account to the 31st. So on the QuickBooks report, it's going to show up as coming in the next month. It actually doesn't matter because at the end of the day, when we file taxes, the only thing that matters is the annual numbers. But that's why if you look here for August, in the QuickBooks account, you'll see it says 44.3 thousand revenue. And on our sheet, we're at 46.3 thousand. So it's off by a couple thousand. That's just going to be due to the cutoff errors. But with that said, these are really the most important. This is the most important chart that I want to show you right here. So I'm going to zoom in on this. And this is my breakdown. So this is, I'm actually going to rewrite this. This is monthly revenue, not including ad spend. I called it gross profit when I did this, but this is a more accurate way. So monthly revenue, not including ad spend. And we break that down per source. And that's the reason why I wanted to look at the revenue less the ad spend, because it's a more accurate measure of how much value that client's actually bringing the agency. So with that in mind, you can see here the total sums to 31,000, which matches the total here. So that works. And YouTube accounts for 41% of that value, referrals and relationships 55%, and then LinkedIn 4%. So really, when I look at this, the only place I get good clients is from my organic YouTube channel or from referrals and relationships. So all I'm going to be focused on going forward is creating more YouTube videos to attract clients, and then really trying to do a great job for them and encouraging those clients to refer additional clients. And that's all I need to do to grow. I don't need to worry about cold outreach, paid ads, or any of that. And because these clients stay for so long, and like most months, we don't have any clients that leave. It's actually quite rare to have a client leave. So we don't need to sign on that many new clients to keep growing. And that is something that current SMMA agency coaches don't talk about. They just talk about how to get clients. They talk about the theoretical numbers of how to scale up, but what you don't hear them talk about is how to minimize churn. Because if you're losing clients after a month or two of them working with you, it's not sustainable, and you're never actually going to grow because you're just going to have to keep replacing the ones that you lost. The other thing that's different about my agency is that we don't just have one niche. We have two niches, and then we also take on other clients that are still a good fit. And it's interesting because in this make money online course world, everyone says you have to choose a niche. But if you look at the biggest agencies in the world, they actually don't have a niche. Like, for example, Scorpion is a massive digital marketing agency, and they don't have a niche. They work with tons of different verticals who we help: home services, healthcare, law firms, etc. So if you look at like big blue chip, very established agencies, a lot of them actually don't have a single niche. And that's something that as I grow my business, I've learned, is that it's okay to have more than one niche. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you got value from going into all the detailed numbers like this. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.